Greetings, geeks. Welcome to another thrilling episode. This is episode 417 of Geeks in Space. I am Rob Commander Taco Mulda, and I am here today with Jeff Bates.
Good morning.
Rob Roseboom.
Hey there.
Nate Ostendorp.
Hello, hello.
Everybody healthy, wealthy, and wise today?
Yeah, I'm some of those things.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
That's a good thing. You need to eat.
I do.
Proves
I mean,
you're still
eventually,
alive,
sure.
Man. All right. My taco zone is loaded. Sorry, I'm not
Gross.
operating at 100% capacity here today.
Your taco zone is loaded?
Right?
Can we not talk about your taco zone today?
I don't want to think about this.
All right. So,
Why do I come here?
why are you even here? Did you see the thing, real-time person removal from Complex Video?
I did. It was pretty good.
Neat.
The thing that I was actually most impressed with was when he walked across the bed and you could see his footprint or like the indentations in the bed, but not him. It looked janky, like it looked like pretty crude removal, but that was decent.
Yeah. And I mean, it's real time, so we can theoretically do that, at like press conferences, vice presidential debates, any sort of newsworthy event where you want to manipulate media.
Well, and just think about how useful it'll be to high-end burglars when they go to steal, things from museums or bank vaults.
The first thing they do is firmware update your Ring doorbell.
Yep. I was thinking it'd be very useful at family reunions, events like that, where you're just like, boop, no, I'm not here. That never happened.
Well, how about if we just rig these things up because I'm operating, I assume you guys are on the same page as me here, but at some point in the future, we're going to be wearing the augmented reality glasses. And then I can actually just like take people out of like my real world environment.
I would argue that I'm already wearing reality augmenting glasses because let me tell you, the world looks a lot different when I wear them than when I don't.
Yeah. You have much higher resolution.
Yeah.
And I'm skipping all that and going straight for the brain implant. So
Yeah.
It's a good
I don't have to worry about setting my brain implant down and not finding it. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. I did see... and I don't know if it's legit because I saw it on a less reputable source, but there was rumors going around of pig-human hybrid embryos. Which
that happened
the
a while
title that I
ago.
read was "This is how we get orcs."
Well, they've done that. I think that's over a year old now that they've made chimeras.
Just the embryos,
human pigs.
Right?
Well, I mean,
they've been making...
between moving genes between species and actually creating hybrids.
viable hybrids, you mean?
That's correct.
Because you can make living tissue with almost any sort of DNA in it.
Yep.
But making a living organism, that's another level of complexity.
I would say
that we supposedly can't do. But we all
I don't know.
know.
I mean, several people in this very video chat have successfully managed to make living organisms, but we did it like in a traditional way,
The old-fashioned way,
with a loaded taco zone,
by robbing graveyards and stitching the pieces together.
Right, old
and then
school.
Getting lightnings to strike it.
Old school.
We Igor'd it.
Yeah, that's a character building way.
That's true. There's also a good article that I put up, which reminded me tremendously, actually, of extended conversations with Jamie McCarthy. It's Stop Using Encrypted Email. And basically, the point is that there's really no point to using encrypted email because it leaks so much metadata. The protocol is all plain text. People who do encrypt over email are just using PGP, which is broken wide open anyway. And you're screwed because any system that you try to build to address those problems, then by definition is not email. It is a new protocol.
Yeah. Well, I guess I've also always felt like the people who sent, TGP email, it was more like virtue signaling than it was any practical usefulness.
Yeah.
Like, look how hardcore I am. You can't read my email.
I care about privacy.
Yeah.
The same people who install new car alarms on their cars because that matters.
Yeah.
Has anyone in the last 5 years heard a car alarm go off and not just be annoyed by it?
And been like, oh, someone's stealing their car.
Yeah.
I don't know how we missed this at a previous conversation, but I heard a rumor that is going around. They fired the director of Doctor Strange 1 off of Doctor Strange 2, and now the rumor is Sam Raimi is going to get it.
That's fine.
They should really then downgrade the special effects and cut the budget to like 8 to 10 million for it to be a good Sam Raimi movie.
Are they going to figure out how to get his car in it?
What?
So Sam Raimi has like this old black car that shows up in all of his movies, like even back to like the original Evil Dead. It was like his car, and like it's in all of his movies.
Even the
They
Spider-Man?
fly it around now. Like they flew it to the set of all the Spider-Man movies.
Huh.
That is a pretty big luck charm,
Sorry, guys. We can't shoot. I need to have my car in the
I
scene.
gotta have my lucky car here. Goes everywhere with me.
But Sam, this is the bathtub scene. I know. We'll just have the car be like the bumper will be in the doorway.
We'll just have the car look through the window.
I'm Sam Raimi. Didn't you see what I made those trees do in Evil Dead?
It's like the Monty Python sketch about Marilyn Monroe being in the movie. Surely Miss Monroe is cremated. Yes, we'll have her in the fire grate and the ashtray. Just the car randomly appearing in the house.
Boink. Well, what was the Steven Spielberg movie? I think it might have been a Stephen King story about the car that hunted
Christine.
people.
Stephen King book then became was that Spielberg?
No.
Yeah, I was
I think he did a different one called like Drive or something. But I wasn't sure if it was based on a Stephen King story because it seems like it should have been.
What do you think Bruce Campbell is going to be in MCU?
Oh, man.
He could be Hammerhead for sure.
Totally.
I mean, totally. Yeah.
I'm writing it down. All right, Hammerhead's a good choice.
Yeah. It'd be a good Hammerhead.
Actually, I would enjoy seeing him as like Galactus or something, like as like a really hammy version of that character.
Galactus is not hammy, okay? He is part of the universal life cycle.
All right, Kang the Conqueror?
Yeah, maybe.
He could also probably be a really good MODOK.
Kraven the Hunter.
Actually, I would like there to be a MODOK.
I could kind of actually see him as like the Beyonder as well. Like that, dark hair, the whole look going with that.
No, it's got to be Kraven. Can you imagine that? I'm all in on that.
Good.
Hammerhead would work
a
too.
paunchy Kraven the Hunter.
Yes.
Just kind of lazy and resigned to the fact that he has to chase Spider-Man. All right, let's do it.
So he's like, well, I'm really more of Kraven the Tracker now. I don't like to do as much hunting. It's too much effort.
Do you think Kraven is officially in the Spider-Man character set owned by Sony?
If he's not, he probably should be.
That's true. There was also a rumor floating around that the way that they were going to insert X-Men into the MCU was to make Rogue a major character in Captain Marvel 2. because apparently there's a bunch of story arcs where Rogue and Captain Marvel work together. I've never read any of them, but I was like, that'd be a fun way to do it.
There's a couple story arcs where she accidentally gets her powers by draining her. Yada yada yada.
Yep.
And I mean, as we know all too well, when you have a character in a movie that is as powerful as Captain Marvel is, the entire movie has to be figuring out a way to take her power away, so that in the third act she can get it back.
Yep.
That is like super. Every movie since like Superman 3 is like, let's figure out how to make Superman lose his power.
It is. It's how do you make an interesting story about someone who is,
basically a god.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, when I publish my novel, you'll know.
All right, I got a list of who Sony owns.
Am I on it?
Electro, Rhino, Lizard, Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, Shocker, Mysterio, Carnage. Nope. No. Oh, Craven. Craven's in there. Here, I'll paste it.
Yeah.
All right. So then that wouldn't be in a that can't be in the Sam Raimi Doctor Strange. It could theoretically be, but he's not directing, Spider-Man 3.
Well,
a man can dream.
Kang the Conqueror it is for him, I guess.
As long as they don't give him a ridiculous suit like they did the Green Goblin, I'm fine.
Yeah. I kind of wonder, though, so the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies really exist, like they're the intermediary between like the Tim Burton era and then the modern comic book movies. And back then they still went a lot harder on the costumes. Like even now, like Mysterio, to go recent, like that costume is not Looney Tunes, considering how Looney Tunes the actual comic book costume is. They did a pretty good job of real worldingify it, as opposed to the Green Goblin, which is a Looney Tunes costume for somebody in the MCU to wear.
Well, just straight up, any costume where you have a cape and you have to fight people is ridiculous. So there you go.
Yeah.
Even Thor didn't get his cape. Let's see. I didn't see Sonic the Hedgehog. I didn't. I kind of want to, but I didn't
either. There's a bunch of other things I didn't see, but among them is Sonic.
That one is about at the level of Detective Pikachu for me, which if I watch it not in a theater and it's reasonably good, I'll be fine.
Again, Detective Pikachu, Delta, Red Eye Flight.
Yep.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Yep. Detective Pikachu is in the between 3 and 4 star range of a movie, which is like very, very entertaining and super fun to watch.
I don't know if I'd say super fun.
I enjoyed it tremendously, but I guess I also have like a man crush on Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
He's everything I wish I was. Like married to who's he married to? That super cute
Blake
girl
Lively?
from Blake Lively. She was good in that movie with Anna Kendrick where they were murderers. That was a good movie. I'm trying to remember the name of it.
I think the thing that I actually like about her is the sheer amount of time she spends trolling Ryan. Is like I approve of your celebrity marriage. You have taken it to a self-deprecating and meme poking fun at each other level. Yeah. I
like when people are aware of their relationship and are using it on Twitter that way. Kind of like how the Attorney General and our president have a lovely relationship where they jab each other like in a playful way. That really makes you feel proud to be a citizen of our great land and trusting in democracy and the justice system.
Lord Humongous for president.
Yeah. He'll lower gas prices. He'll keep our wasteland secure. He's the perfect candidate.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping we'd be running Emerton Joe. I feel like that's the right candidate. That's what 2020 needs. Don't become addicted to water.
Don't become addicted to water. Look at what it's done to me. Yeah.
That's right.
It's true. Immortan Joe's climate change credentials are impeccable. You definitely get
That's
the
what we should
green
start.
vote.
But Lord
I'm writing it
Humongous
down.
has proved
Immortan
that he
Joe
can
for
form
president.
a coalition, even in the harshest conditions.
Mm-hmm. He's a unifier, not a divider.
Right.
I would say he's actually a proven problem solver. In the most difficult of conditions, he is able to bring together a diversity of people around a common goal. And isn't
He
that the
has
leadership
the
we
War
need?
Boys and like his harem of milk ladies, and he somehow made it work.
But he didn't get Master Blaster's endorsement.
No.
It's all right. Master Blaster is just a shadow neoliberal.
I was thinking he's like Jerry Falwell.
Yeah. Lord Humongous will not support big methane like Master Blaster did.
Big methane. Oh, there's a new Picard tonight, and after
Big
last
methane.
week, I'm actually terrified.
It's actually CH5. It's so big.
What are you terrified about?
So, all right, this is the thing. Kat is way more like, she doesn't mind spoilers for media of any sort, and I really try to avoid spoilers. And last night at about 9:30, I hear like cussing from her chair, and she's swearing. I'm like, "What happened?" She's just like, "I read something for Picard," and I'm like, "What? Are you gonna tell me?" She said, "It's a spoiler." I says, "All right, don't tell me." But she was freaking out and not in a happy way.
Yeah, so is Picard just not good? Is that the...
It's okay. It's okay.
It is bad as a Star Trek show. It is medium
What the
as
hell?
a
Star Trek shows are...
sci-fi show.
Wait, so your argument in this case is that Star Trek shows are normally the higher quality bar?
No, I'm saying it is not meeting the bar of being a Star Trek show.
That's a pretty low bar.
I disagree. I think you just need to watch some of those old Star Treks again. It's not any worse than any of the worst of the Next Generation. Certainly not any worse than any of the worst of Deep Space Nine. And that was my favorite.
Okay, let me clarify. And this is the comment that I like the best. And there's a scene that really typifies it, I think, in the second episode. But Picard, like, the thing to me about the Next Generation, like, core to this thing is that Earth is a place that has solved its problems. We've gotten rid of money. We have replicators that make us food. Earth is essentially utopian. And so the best and brightest of Earth, of humanity, goes out to explore, to be a part of the Federation, to do these great things that theoretically we all enjoy from the Next Generation. Well, in episode 2 of Picard, he goes back and finds his old friend Rafi, who addresses him by a nickname no less than 5 times in 2.5 minutes and makes me want to punch her in the face every time that she does it. But she also explains that he was wealthy and famous, and she is poor and living apparently in a national park in a trailer home. But like that whole sequence kind of summed it up for me. Like, I thought Earth was a utopia. How did Earth go from being a utopia to you are mad and poor because your friend screwed you over? Like, that doesn't jive to me with what I feel like Star Trek, at least from the Next Generation TV show.
Everyone in Star Trek was fabulously wealthy and there were no poor people? Because there's lots of episodes you need to rewatch then.
But not Earthlings.
Yes, Earthlings.
Okay.
Like, my assumption had always been that, and I am admittedly not a Trekkie, but that essentially that Roddenberry, I mean, more or less it's the what's his name? Ian, whatever his name is. Yes, it's a utopian society. Money is all gone, but it's kind of like a universal basic income. Yes, there's a baseline you're supported to, but that the vast majority of people are living.
Like, fame still exists. Access to things. Privilege still exists. And
Sure.
yeah, Roddenberry had a utopia. But that all changed in the next generation when they started introducing the evil parts of Starfleet. And then
That's true.
they
Section
doubled
31
down on
really.
that when, what was it, Section 13, or was that what it was?
Section 31.
Section 31, that's what it was. And that became a main storyline. So they're really just picking up old storylines. I mean, they may not be your favorite, and they're certainly not mine. But I mean, the groundwork was laid already for all those things. I kind of
that's
like
fair.
what they're doing with the Borg stuff. Like, that seems to me that's exactly what would happen with the Borg stuff. People would try to figure out how all that worked, especially like they have the Romulans sort of figuring that stuff out now. So yeah, I kind of like how they're digging more into the Romulans and all that stuff. But yes, it's not terrific. It's just okay.
Well, it took them 3 episodes to get a crew on a spaceship. And I feel like if you're
Indeed.
Star Trek,
They're still building the team, right?
And I think it's only like a 10 or 12 episode season. So you spent a quarter of your season just getting whatever 5 or 6 people on a spaceship. And to my thinking,
Well, and the team's not done yet, right?
well, we don't have
7 to 9
Riker, man.
just showed up in the last episode, right? They haven't had Riker and the Betazoid, who I can't remember her name for whatever reason right now.
Is she confirmed?
Marina
cast?
Oh, wait.
Well, I know her real name.
Yeah. Not Beverly. I don't know if Crusher is going to be in it either.
Beverly Cleary?
Beverly
That's
Cleary.
an interesting character to add to Star Trek.
You didn't know that the Beverly Cleary verse actually is a shared cinematic universe. Super Fudge shows up.
I'm looking
Ramona
forward
Quimby.
to Ralph and the motorcycle in Picard.
Yep.
It's going to be a great
Ramona Quimby is a minor deity to most alien races.
Yeah, when they
All
have
right,
to.
I'm writing it down. The Beverly Cleary Star Trek shared cinematic universe.
Just wait until they get into the season where Roald Dahl shows up and they have to destroy the giant peach before it blots out the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happens in the Kelvin timeline.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nate, the keyboard. I now have a Keychron K2. That is my next keyboard. It types much nicer, but I haven't tested the Bluetooth yet.
Ah, cool.
I actually really like it. It's cherry brown switches. That seems to be my sweet spot.
All right.
So we've resolved that, and I have a monitor arriving tomorrow, which means for the first time in 12 years, I will have a desk with a Windows computer, like connected to a monitor on that desk.
Wow.
And
Now
now you'll
Windows
be
computer is my TV on the other end of my room, which I have to squint to see.
now you'll be shopping for graphics cards, or are you going to use the NUC?
Yeah, there's a gaming PC at some point that's going to be built, but I had to pay for my kids' braces today, so maybe that'll wait for next month.
Yep.
Braces are expensive, man.
Yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they
You
are.
could
Are
do it,
we
you
at
could do it
100%
yourself. I mean, the
Parasite
materials
seeing
are
now?
cheap. Yes, I've seen Parasite.
But has
I
Jack...
still have not.
All right, then we should save that. I want to have a conversation. Let's see. I had one other thing on my list, and we have 7 minutes. But I guess it's lost. Does anybody else have anything fun?
I hadn't gotten to the fun part of my morning yet when we started recording.
And got to the fun part.
Yeah.
Rob operates
true.
on a block schedule, and
I do.
On Thursdays, fun doesn't start until 12:15 on his block schedule.
Honestly, it can't start until this call is done because this is the worst part of his day.
Well, I don't know if it's the worst part of my day.
I have a macabre edition. You
Fire away.
remember when Hans Reiser, murdered his wife? And
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, there's a PM, product manager director at Google who seems to have, gone through exactly the same thing so far this morning. So That'll be an interesting day. Imagine coming into work and being like, "Oh, the PM isn't in here because he's been arrested on suspicion of murdering his wife."
Cool.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, we had a lot of weird stuff happen over the years, but I don't think anybody murdered anybody during our time.
It's great that you think that.
Oh. All right.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
I do sometimes wonder, like when we have a number of stories that we all know very well. And like I always wonder when I tell one of those stories how much name obfuscation I should place into them. Because there are a few people who were just absolute gutter trash. And I don't use their names when I tell these stories because you wouldn't believe me, and I'm actually afraid I might get sued.
Well, that's
You can use first names.
yeah.
Except
There
in
could be
criminal
so many Joes.
Well,
Joe
this
with a
Joe
fake
guy
name.
sounds like an ass.
or Pats.
Right? Ball lightning?
Oh, ball lightning. Although I will say that individual, no matter where he went, seems to have been consistent his entire life. As I've encountered other people who worked with him in other places, were like, yeah, no, completely that tracks. Yeah.
He's the only person that I have ever got the reference check phone call, where I did the thing where you just say, I can confirm that this person worked for me.
Yep.
Like that's the only time. Like I've never in my life, like I've always had something nice to say about every single person I've ever had that happen, but not that person.
I think we should have just ended the sentence there. Rob Malda, I always have something nice to say.
I try to be an optimist, Jeffrey Bates. You know this. I fail terribly, but I try.
You do.
My heart wants what it can't do.
It's very much a kind of Don Quixote windmill kind of scenario, but the heart wants what the heart wants.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're at the 30-minute mark. Does anybody have anything fun to say before I try to collapse in an unconscious heap of disease?
I hope that goes well for you.
Well, you shouldn't have to try too hard. That's the
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
true.
thing that just happens naturally.
From the floor, I say thank you to Nate Ostendorp,
See you guys.
Rob Roseboom,
Humongous 2020.
Jeff Bates.
From the windows to the walls till Rob. I'll just stop there so we don't have to NSFW this.
That's never happened before. All right. Thank you to you gentlemen for showing up. This has been episode 417 of Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Taco Malda, reminding you to press all the buttons that make us happy and be a Patreon Live Plus Go subscriber if that was a thing. It's not. And kind of find the button that says goodbye.